What if you are not blocked because you lack belief? What if belief is trying to enter a body that still feels unsafe? You can visualize the future, repeat the affirmations, script the outcome, and imagine the version of you who already has it. But if your nervous system still associates love with rejection, money with pressure, visibility with judgment, or success with danger, then the future you want will not feel like expansion. It will feel like threat. And the body does not move easily towards what it believes it must survive. This is the biological side of manifestation, the part most people skip, because you do not only manifest from what you think, you manifest from what your body believes is safe to receive. And this changes everything, because the life you desire may not be far away, because the world is withholding it. It may feel far away because your body has not yet learned how to live inside it. Not because you are broken, not because you are doing something wrong, but because your biology is always trying to protect you based on what it has learned before. If love once came with anxiety, the body may brace when love appears. If money once came with conflict, guilt, pressure, or fear, the body may contract when more money becomes possible. If being seen once brought criticism, rejection, envy, or shame, the body may shrink when visibility arrives. If peace was unfamiliar, calm may not feel like safety. It may feel like waiting for something to go wrong. So the conscious mind can say, "I am ready." But the nervous system may answer, "Ready for what? The last time we opened to this, it hurt." This is why manifestation cannot only be mental. You can think the new thought, but if the body is still living in the old prediction keeps shaping your choices, your perception, your reactions, your standards, your behavior, your ability to receive, and your ability to stay open when something good begins to enter. This is why some people sabotage, not because they do not want the thing. They sabotage because the thing is unfamiliar. And to the nervous system, unfamiliar can feel unsafe. Even when it is better, even when it is healthier, even when it is exactly what they asked for. The body often does not choose happiness first. It chooses familiarity first. And if struggle has become familiar, ease can feel suspicious. If chaos has become familiar, peace can feel empty. So the question is not only, what do I want? The deeper question is, can my body feel safe having it? Because desire without safety creates tension. You want the future, but your body keeps preparing for the past. And this is where stress biology becomes important. Robert Sapolsky makes a fascinating point in his book, Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers. A zebra sees a lion, the body activates, stress hormones rise, the heart races, blood moves to the muscles, the zebra runs. If it survives, the stress cycle completes. The zebra returns to grazing. But human beings are different. The zebra needs the lion. The human only needs a thought, a memory, a future failure, a conversation that has not happened, a disaster that may never come. The body responds not only to reality, it responds to prediction. And if the brain keeps predicting rejection, the body prepares for rejection. If the brain keeps predicting scarcity, the body prepares for scarcity. If the brain keeps predicting judgment, the body prepares for judgment. And once the body prepares for something, it begins to organize your behavior around it. You scan for signs. You tense before anything happens. You interpret neutral moments through the old wound. You notice what confirms your fear, and you miss what could confirm something new. This is how the past becomes predictive, not because reality is fixed, but because the body keeps entering the present through yesterday's expectation. This does not mean every painful thing in your life was created by your thoughts. That is not wisdom. That is blame. This is about reclaiming the patterns you can influence now. Because if you don't rewire the stress response, you may keep mistaking fear for intuition, chaos for chemistry, urgency for ambition, and survival for identity. And this is why the first step is not forcing yourself to believe harder. The first step is noticing the state you are creating from. Are you visualizing from trust or from panic? Are you taking action from inspiration or from fear that you are running out of time? The same action can carry two completely different biological messages. You can send the email from expansion, or you can send it from panic. You can post the video from creative energy, or you can post it from fear of being forgotten. You can pursue the relationship from openness, or you can pursue it from abandonment terror. You can build the business from vision, or you can build it from the belief that you are not safe unless you achieve. The outer action may look the same, but the body knows the difference. And over time, your nervous system becomes the emotional climate your life grows inside. Bruce McEwen called this accumulated pressure, allostatic load, the cost of a body that has had to adapt for too long. And chronic stress does not only make you tired, it changes how you perceive life. It can narrow your attention. It can make you more reactive. It can make uncertainty feel dangerous. It can make the unknown feel like a threat. It can make you cling to what is familiar, even when familiar means painful. Under stress, the body becomes brilliant at survival. But survival is not the same as expansion. Survival asks, how do I get through this? Expansion asks, who am I becoming? Survival asks, what could go wrong? Expansion asks, what is possible from here? Survival wants control. Expansion requires trust. And manifestation is, by nature, a relationship with the unknown. You are becoming someone you have not fully been yet. You are moving towards a life your body may not have evidence for yet. You are asking the nervous system to tolerate a new level of receiving, responsibility, visibility, peace, love, money, or self-worth. That is why capacity matters. You do not only need the desire, you need the capacity to hold the desire when it arrives. The capacity to be loved without becoming suspicious. The capacity to earn more without feeling guilty. The capacity to be seen without shrinking. The capacity to rest without needing chaos to feel productive. The capacity to receive help without feeling indebted. The capacity to be successful without expecting punishment. The capacity to have more without abandoning yourself. Because if your capacity has not expanded, the thing you want can arrive and still feel overwhelming. You may minimize it, question it, run from it, distrust it, destroy it, or return to the smaller identity because at least that identity feels known. This is one of the hidden reasons people repeat patterns, not because they want pain, but because the nervous system knows how to survive pain, and it may not yet know how to receive peace. You may notice this in small ways. You say you want love, but when someone becomes consistent, you start looking for the flaw. You say you want more money, but when the opportunity appears, your body fills with pressure instead of possibility. You say you want to be seen, but the moment attention arrives, you shrink, over-explain, or disappear. You say you want peace, but when life finally slows down, you create a problem just to feel familiar again. This is not because you are failing. It is because the future must become safe before it can become normal. So the work becomes less about chasing the future and more about making the future familiar, making love familiar, making abundance familiar, making calm familiar, making your own power familiar. Joe Dispenza speaks about this in Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Whether you take his work as spiritual, psychological, or metaphorical, the core idea is useful. Many people become emotionally conditioned to the past. They do not just remember old states, they live from them. And when an emotional state has been rehearsed for years, the body begins to identify with it. So when you start becoming someone new, the body may not celebrate at first. It may resist. It may ask, who are we without the anxiety? Who are we without the chase? Who are we without the problem? This is why the old identity can feel so convincing. It has history, it has chemistry, it has repetition, it has emotional momentum. So you cannot expect one affirmation to overpower years of biological rehearsal. The new self must be practiced, not aggressively, not with self-punishment, but repeatedly. Because the mind does not build what it visits once. It builds what it returns to. If you return every day to the emotional chemistry of the past remains the most practiced reality in your body. But if you begin returning again and again to the emotional state of the future self, the body begins to learn a new normal. This is where science and manifestation can meet, not in the claim that thought alone changes everything instantly, but in the understanding that repeated attention, emotion, behavior, and expectation can change the system you are living from. Self-affirmation research gives us an interesting clue. Studies have found that reflecting on core values and future-oriented identity can activate brain regions related to self-processing and reward. That does not mean repeating random positive sentences will magically change your life, but it does suggest something important. When an affirmation connects to identity, meaning, and future behavior, it becomes more powerful than empty positivity. So instead of saying, "I am wealthy," you might say, "My body is learning that more money can mean more safety, more choice, more peace, and more generosity." Instead of saying, "I am successful," you might say, "I am becoming the kind of person who can hold more success without losing myself." Instead of saying, "I am loved," you might say, "It is safe for me to receive love without chasing, proving, or shrinking." Instead of saying, "I am confident," you might say, "I am allowed to be seen while I am still becoming." Can you feel the difference? One tries to force the mind. The other speaks to the nervous system. One demands belief. The other builds a bridge. Because the goal is not to bully your body into a new reality. The goal is to educate it, to teach it through repeated evidence. This is safe now. This is different now. We are not in the same place anymore. We have more choice now. We have more awareness now. We do not need the old protection in the old way anymore. This is why breath matters. This is why movement matters. This is why sleep matters. This is why boundaries matter. This is why your environment matters. This is why your daily emotional inputs matter. Because your nervous system is not convinced by what you say once. It is shaped by what you repeatedly experience. Heart rate variability research and HRV biofeedback studies suggest that slow, steady breathing can support stress regulation and reduce anxiety. That matters because the breath is one of the fastest ways to send a new message to the body. When the breath is shallow and rushed, the body hears, "There is danger." When the jaw is tight and the shoulders are raised, the body hears, "Prepare." When the stomach is clenched and the chest is braced, the body hears, "We are not safe yet." But when the breath slows, the shoulders drop, the jaw softens, and the body is allowed to arrive in the present, a new signal becomes possible. There is space here. There is time here. There is no immediate threat here. From that state, visualization becomes different. You are no longer imagining the future while your body is panicking about not having it. You are rehearsing the future from a body that is learning to receive it. This is why you should regulate before you visualize. Because visualization from desperation can become rehearsal of absence. You may be picturing the house, the relationship, the money, the success, the recognition, the new body, the new life. But underneath the image, the body may be saying, "I need this before I can be safe. I need this before I can relax. I need this before I can feel worthy. I need this before I can trust life." And that energy is not really receiving, it is bargaining. The shift happens when you can want something deeply without making your safety depend on it. When you can desire more without rejecting where you are. When you can move towards the future without making the present moment your enemy. When you can say, "I choose this," not, "I need this to rescue me." That is a different state, and a different state creates different choices. The placebo effect gives us another useful insight. It does not prove that belief can magically do anything. It does not mean you can ignore reality. It does not mean medical care is unnecessary, but it does show that expectation, meaning, and belief can influence the body's response. Belief is not merely a sentence in the mind, it can become biology. Expectation can change perception. Meaning can change emotional response. Context can change how the brain interprets sensation. So when you repeatedly expect rejection, scarcity, failure, or disappointment, those expectations do not remain abstract. They influence how you enter rooms, how you speak, what you notice, what you avoid, what risks you take, what opportunities you dismiss, what relationships feel familiar, what standards you accept. But when you begin training a new expectation, one believable enough for the body to hold, you begin interacting with life differently. You are no longer scanning only for proof of the wound. You begin scanning for evidence of the new identity. And the mind finds what it has been trained to look for. If you are trained to look for rejection, you will find micro signals of rejection everywhere. If you are trained to look for scarcity, almost everything will feel like not enough. If you are trained to look for danger, even opportunity will look suspicious. But if you begin training the nervous system to look for support, possibility, alignment, and choice, you start meeting a different layer of reality. Not because the whole world changed overnight, but because the lens changed. And when the lens changes, behavior changes. When behavior changes, outcomes begin to change. This is the part of manifestation that is both spiritual and practical. Your state influences your perception. Your perception influences your choices. Your choices influence your habits. Your habits influence your outcomes. And your outcomes begin to reinforce your identity. So if you want a new reality, you can not only imagine a new outcome, you must practice becoming the kind of person who can notice it, choose it, receive it, and sustain it. This is where Gabriele Oettingen's work on mental contrasting becomes useful. In her Rethinking Positive Thinking book, she explains that fantasy alone is often not enough. You need the vision, but you also need to recognize the obstacle. This does not weaken manifestation, it strengthens it. Because mature manifestation is not denial. It is not pretending there is no fear, no pattern, no resistance, no self-sabotage, no old identity trying to pull you back. It is saying, this is what I want. That is powerful because you are no longer surprised by your own resistance. You are prepared for it. You can ask, what do I want? Why does it matter? What inner obstacle usually gets in the way? And what will I do when that obstacle appears? This turns manifestation into practice. Not fantasy, practice. And practice is what rewires the body. So how do you stop creating from survival? You do not argue with the body. You give it a new sequence. I call it the SAFE method. You can use this in less than 10 minutes before visualizing, journaling, or taking action. S, settle the body. A, ask what feels unsafe. F, familiarize the future. E, embody one action. First, settle the body. Take 5 slow breaths, relax your jaw, drop your shoulders, feel your feet. Let your body know, we are here. We are not in the past. You are not trying to become perfectly calm. You are simply creating enough safety for the body to listen. Second, ask what feels unsafe. Find the hidden threat inside the desire. Take the thing you want and ask, what would feel dangerous about actually receiving this? Not what sounds logical, what feels dangerous? If I receive more love, what might I fear? If I receive more money, what might I fear? If I become more visible, what might I fear? If life becomes easier, what might I fear? The answer may surprise you. Maybe more love feels dangerous because it could be lost. Maybe more money feels dangerous because it could create responsibility. Maybe success feels dangerous because it could separate you from people who knew the old version of you. Once you can see it, you can work with it. Thank you for watching. See you soon.